What's up, guys? Welcome back to part 3 of my Force Awakens review. So this part, or this video, will be everything from the moment Han and Chewbacca get on the Millennium Falcon to where the First Order attacks Maz Kanata's castle on Takodana. So let's get into it. Alright, so Han and Chewbacca get on the Millennium Falcon, and they basically instantly find Rey, Finn, and BB-8 hiding underneath the floorboards. I think this is a great scene because obviously Han and Chewbacca are back in this film, and this is, I love these characters. They're absolutely phenomenal in this film. But they do get caught by this gang that Han owes money to. But overall, it's still a great scene. There's a pretty good action sequence, later on. But it is a really good scene in this, and I just love all these characters together. Alright, so like I was saying, this is a solid action sequence. It's not like phenomenal. It's not the best of the movie, but it's fine. Basically, they get away, and they have to go to Takodana to find basically like a ship for BB-8 to get on because he needs to go back to the Resistance, because obviously he has a map to Luke Skywalker, so he needs to get back to the Resistance. So they go to Maz's castle on Takodana to find somewhere for BB-8 to go, and that's where obviously they're heading after this. Alright, so next up we find out that Han Solo is Kylo Ren's father. Now, for anybody who's seen this movie, a bunch of times, I've seen it a ton of times, but this isn't like a really big surprise to us. But Kylo Ren being Han's father is obviously a massive plot point later in this film. But I mean, for first-time viewers, it's a pretty good surprise. It's like, oh man, this is like Han's father, and I mean, not Han's father. This is Han's son and Leia's son, obviously. It's a pretty solid, scene. Again, Snoke. I'm definitely going to get more into him when I talk about the later films, but in this film, he's like the Emperor Palpatine, he's whatever. But overall, pretty solid scene here. Alright, so next we have the scene where Han offers Rey a job, and I see a lot of criticism with this scene online because Han doesn't even know Rey's name, and then a couple seconds later he offers her a job, in which I kind of do agree with that. They've only known each other for a couple hours at this point, but it kind of just shows us that Han really likes Rey and he trusts her and everything. So I think it's fine, but I definitely do understand some of the criticism with this scene. But overall, I think it's a pretty fine scene. All right, so next up we have Maz's castle. So a lot of people say that Episode 7 and Episode 4 are very similar, in which I definitely do agree with some things, but this is one of the examples to where it's very obvious this is supposed to be Mos Eisley Cantina, except it's just Maz's castle. It's a solid scene. I like it. It's cool, but it's just very similar to Mos Eisley Cantina, which is fine. Overall, it's a solid scene. We get to see, more people in the galaxy, and we get to meet Maz, who's an interesting character, and overall, like I said, I like it. Alright, so next we get the scene where Finn basically just tells Rey, hey, I'm not a part of the Resistance, and I'm a former First Order Stormtrooper, and she's obviously all mad, and she's like, hey, you lied to me, what the heck, man? And so he leaves because he knows what the First Order can do, and he doesn't want any part of that, I guess. And Rey gets, pulled to Luke's lightsaber, which is an interesting scene because visually it looks great, but it makes absolutely no sense, and it answers no questions in the rest of the films. Overall, though, it is a decent scene because, hey, it looks cool, but just doesn't make a ton of sense in the rest of these films, at least.
Relax, kid. She's run this watering hole for 1,000 years. Maz is a bit of an acquired.
Alright, so the First Order blows up the New Republic, and obviously everybody from the ground can see this happening, and they're like, hey, what the heck's going on? And Finn's like, hey, this is exactly what they're going to do, and now they did it, and everybody's freaking out and everything, and the First Order immediately comes on Takodana, obviously, because BB-8 has the map to Luke Skywalker, and then the Resistance immediately shows up, and then that's where I'll leave off for this video, and I'll see you on the next video. See you guys.